What is good? What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Pick Six channel. Let's talk about this game, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers drop another game, their fourth game of the season, to the Chargers by a score of 25-10. Now, let's be real here. This game, it's honestly a miracle that this game ended with only by 2 possessions. It's a miracle. Chargers completely outplayed the Steelers. They looked way better than the Steelers did. And was it the Chargers' best game of the season? No. But it didn't have to be. Okay? And first and foremost, hey, shout out to the Chargers. They did their thing. They did what they had to do to win. Okay? They didn't make many mistakes. And they capitalized on the many mistakes that the Steelers made in this game. So shout out to the Chargers there. They did their thing on prime time. So yeah. As for the Steelers, I honestly don't know where to start. We'll go defense. We'll start with the defense. Defensively, they looked all right. They actually made stops. The run defense did struggle. They were kind of able to limit the Chargers offense for the most part. Okay, I know the fourth quarter is when the Chargers actually started to truly move down the field and things of that nature. I mean, defense was probably tired by that time because offensively, they couldn't move the ball. They couldn't do anything offensively. I can make a legit argument that the Steelers don't get past the 50-yard line without Jaylen Warren in this game. I can make a legit argument. This game was terrible, man. It was terrible. And it sucks. I honestly hate the fact that it was a primetime game. All the primetime games this week were terrible. All of them. I mean, we thought at least 2 out of the 3 would be good, right? At the very least, the Monday Night Football game would be good, right? You had the Thursday Night Football game between the Raiders and Broncos. That was a stinker. Sunday Night Football was just a complete blowout. Then last night's game, I mean, just a terrible slate of primetime games this week. Steelers offense, man. DK Metcalf is the one wide receiver threat. And opposing teams know that. They know it. So you know what they do? They double him. It's not even his fault that he's not even open. It's not. And there's still times where he does get open. And there was a time earlier in the game when he was open, wide open, and could have been a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers overthrows him. I mean, that happens. However, Aaron Rodgers was overthrowing. He was inaccurate that night, man. He was inaccurate Sunday night. And he did not have a good game. That was probably his worst performance as a Steeler quarterback. It makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense why the Steelers didn't trade for a receiver before the trade deadline. It's honestly kind of laughable, man. I was kind of against the fact that they traded away George Pickens. I don't know if I was in the majority or the minority in that situation. I was against it simply because the Steelers organization came out and said that they're here to win. They're trying to win now in this window, but then they trade away a player that was your best weapon in the wide receiver room for the past couple years, and then you trade him away. That made zero sense to me, okay? I don't really know what else to say about this game. Nobody could catch a pass on the defensive side or offensive side. There were a few opportunities to get an interception. Passes were dropped. Receivers just were dropping passes all day. Tight ends too. Some of them were wide open. One of them even turned into a deflection and an interception. Just an ugly performance from the Steelers team, man. That's really all it is to say. Again, I give credit to the Chargers. Steelers, they outplayed the Steelers, but the Steelers set the bar very, very low in this game. And I would go lower, but then you wouldn't see it on the camera anymore. I would go lower. So what do you guys think, man? Was this a wake-up call? Because it should. This game should be a wake-up call. You would think this would be a wake-up call, right? It was in front of a national audience, Sunday Night Football, and they put out that performance. That is not good. That is a terrible look. Nobody is convinced that this team is a threat in the AFC after last night, if they were even convinced that they were a threat at all before this game. How do I see this team after this game? The same as I've seen them all season. And by the way, Baltimore's only a game behind. They control their own destiny in the division now. I see the Steelers team doing the same thing, man. 9-8 or 10-7, and maybe they'll get to the playoffs just to get blown out in the first round. That's the identity of this team. Because other than that, we don't know what we're going to get week in and week out because it's completely different. You're going to get a completely different result from the week before. That's just how this team operates. I don't know. It makes zero sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. They got the Bengals on Sunday, 10 o'clock game. I'm not really even sure what to expect. I would like to think that's a game they could win, but we don't know. What do you guys think about the Steelers' chances in winning the division in one? And, just the rest of the way. Because there's still quite a few games to be played. We're past the halfway point. Yeah, we're slightly past the halfway point because the Steelers did have a bye week within those first 10 weeks. So what do you guys think? What are you guys' record predictions for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mine's 9-8, 10-7. That's all I got, man. I was at this game live. As a Steeler fan from Southern California, I don't get to go to a lot of Steeler games, if any Steeler games in a season. It was my first time, since 2023 going to a game. It was such a bad performance that I started laughing. That's how bad of a performance it was. That's how bad of a game it was. The only way I could cope with it is to start laughing at it. That's really it. And Steeler Nation was there. They showed up. We tried to make some noise, man, but there wasn't really much to cheer about the most of the game. So, yeah, man, it was a terrible loss. Hopefully they can bounce back this week against the Bengals. Am I that optimistic about it? No. Do I expect them to win, though? Yes, I do. But you never know with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Clearly, there are problems with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Okay? We're getting the same results year in and year out since 2018. Clearly, there are problems with this team. I'm not going to point the finger at what, but I'm sure you guys could kind of pick up on it. That's all I got for you guys, man. We'll be back. I think we'll probably drop pick six either Thursday or Friday, whichever. And yeah, man. See you guys later in the week, man. And even in a loss, go Steelers, right?